Hello, my name is Dr. Miriam Bindman. I'm a psychologist at Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children in England. Every day, my team and I work with autistic children, their families and carers. Today, my colleague Dr. Jeremy Oliver and I will be explaining what autism is and what it can be like to be autistic.
What is autism? Autism spectrum disorder, or autism, is a set of lifelong developmental differences. Developmental differences affect how someone takes in information and responds and learns as they grow up. Autism affects how a person experiences and copes with the world around them. The word disorder is in the official diagnostic term, and this comes from a medical model of autism that sees these differences as abnormal. But there is another way of understanding autism, which is as a natural part of neurodiversity. Neurodiversity refers to all of us, the full range of different and complex human brains that there are in the world. Most people's brains develop in a way that are broadly compatible with the structures and systems of our society, such as schools and workplaces. A minority of people's brains have developmental differences that can affect aspects of learning and managing life. People with these brains are sometimes referred to as neurodivergent and include autistic people.
What is it like to be autistic? For non-autistic people, being autistic could be understood to be like visiting an unfamiliar culture. For example, when travelling abroad. It can feel like everyone is different from you, that you're in danger of breaking rules you don't understand, and you're struggling to keep up with social cues that others seem to understand. This is partly because some aspects of everyday life, like going to school or taking part in social groups, are not always accessible to autistic people. This is gradually changing for the better, and autistic people and their allies are leading the way. They are helping us all to understand what it's like to be autistic and what needs to change to reduce some of the challenges they face.
What are the signs of autism? Every autistic young person is different and unique, so it's always important to consider their individual abilities, needs, and preferences. The combination of a young person's unique characteristics and the environment they are in will affect what they find challenging and how their autism appears to others. For example, an autistic child who's sensitive to noise might find it really hard to learn in a big, noisy classroom. But they may thrive and make friends in smaller, quieter settings where their differences are understood. Whereas another autistic child might not be so bothered by loud noise and learn well in this environment, but find it really hard to know how to make and keep friends. Some signs might include that a child says or does things that seem insensitive or tactless, as they struggle to recognise others' thoughts and feelings and predict their reactions. They may appear to behave in unusual or socially unexpected ways, as it's not easy for them to express their feelings or to understand unwritten social rules. There may be signs in their language and communication skills, as they find it difficult to process information they hear or respond to it quickly. They might not easily express what they're feeling using facial expression or gestures, and might have trouble reading yours. They might get confused by non-literal language like jokes, metaphors, and expressions such as, "you can't have your cake and eat it." Autistic people can find it harder than others to cope with uncertainty, adjust to a change of routine, or cope in unfamiliar situations. They could have sensory differences, such as finding sound, or touch, or smell, or taste particularly overwhelming. They could also show repetitive movements like flapping their hands or pacing because of the calming feeling that comes with these movements.
Can autistic people live a normal life? Autistic people can live happy, healthy, and successful lives. There's no single version of a normal life. We think that aiming for a life that suits the individual person is most important, according to their own interests, values, needs, and abilities. We know that understanding, support, and adjustments to the environment can make a huge difference, whether this be at home, at school, or in the community. Some autistic people need lots of support, while others need less. Autistic children will often notice that they're different from other young people, which can cause distress and problems like low self-esteem, depression, and anxiety. That's why it's important for them to receive the message from others that they're accepted for who they are, to understand why they feel different, and to know it's okay to be different. Autistic children have many strengths, and it's also important that they get to know their strengths and that these are celebrated and encouraged, whatever they may be. They can be honest, straightforward, and have a strong sense of social justice. They can be highly focused on topics they're interested in, and these can often be channeled into developing knowledge and skills in a particular area. This can then help them in a future career, give lots of joy, and be a source of relaxation and social connections. Some autistic people have abilities and talents that lead to highly successful careers. They might need reasonable adjustments from others, such as employers, to enable them to cope emotionally and socially. Some autistic people also have learning difficulties and may need more support with their education, employment, and daily living. There are also opportunities for autistic people to take part in activities such as advocacy and research. It can be helpful for young people to meet others who feel different and to know of autistic role models.